Hey, Paddle Talk and World Sand Drag News fans. You can watch every episode of Paddle Talk on World Sand Drag News YouTube, or you can search for us on Spotify by simply typing in Paddle Talk. Check out our Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well for more content on sand drag racing. Don't forget to check out our website, worldsandragnews.com, for our list of world records, schedule of events, and articles from past races, and much more. Don't forget, buy our sponsor stuff. On today's show, we go through the winners of Little Sandy Raceway. They just had their full-size Madness race. We go through the winners of Greene's Raceway race. They had the Miller Racing versus the World event this past weekend with a ton of classes. And we also short recap, Zona No Bar Nights, No Bar race down in Zona, Louisiana. And then we also preview races like Avenal Sand Drags in Avenal, California. We also preview the Brazoria, Texas Mud Race. We also preview New England Sand Drags. And then we also preview the Southern Powersports Drag Racing Series season opener, which is started by our associate, Dave Applegate.
Hey, folks, this episode of Paddle Talk brought to you by Racing in the Dirt, coming out of Wisconsin. Scott and Shane O'Rogie and the crew up there, your source for all kinds of good stuff. They are real wheel dealers. They are also scat track dealers. They can do cut tires, everything from ground up chassis builds to all your supplies needed to get that car together in the last couple weeks here for racing season. Check them out on the internet, racinginthedirt.com, on Facebook. You can find them or get a hold of them directly.
And we're going to start with what do you guys want to start with? You guys want to start with let's start with some race results. Let's do that. So we just had Little Sandy Raceway's full-size madness. And let me actually go right here and I'll kind of redo that. We're going to start today's episode with recapping the races that just happened this past weekend. We're going to start with Little Sandy Raceway's full-size madness, and Damian and Dave were both there. And before we start listing these winners here, we'll go one at a time. Briefly, let's start with Damian. What did you think about the weekend? Full-size madness. And if you heard that motorcycle drive by the house, I'm sorry.
Overall, it went pretty good. Friday night, they were running into some teething issues, figuring the track out, figuring out how to run the show the right way. Saturday, they really fell into what they needed to do, and they had us damn near out of there by dark.
So what do you mean by Friday? It took a little longer on Friday?
Friday, they were a little bit behind on getting things started. They were changing some plans here and there. Instead of running the quick 8, they had a pro comp and an open bracket. It all ended up working out. I ended up I'll spoil one of the results. I ended up in the finals and winning their pro comp class, so I at least paid for the weekend.
There you go. Well, spoiler alert there from Damian. He did place. He did podium. So congratulations, Damian. But Dave, what did you think of the weekend at Little Sandy full-size madness?
I'm going to agree with Damian. It went good. It was a good time. It was a lot of fun. Again, anytime you're at a racetrack, it's better than a good day at work. Friday did kind of start off a little slow. First time that they had the track open, so there was a lot of things to get prepared. They've had some weather roll in before that, so they were not able to get on the track like they wanted to. So it made it a little interesting on Friday. It took a little bit of time. Once they got a handle on it, and they decided on what the racers wanted to do, and they come up with all the things. It went really well, and Saturday went very well. I thought it was a lot of fun, a lot of smiles, a lot of fast runs, and it seemed the track was coming around. A lot of guys were going quicker pretty much every run. If it, not like a great deal, but I mean, it was picking up. It was definitely on the way, and it was good. Dev and Alyssa did a good job. Again, this is their second year, So they're learning and they are listening to others, you know, saying, hey, how about this? How about that? And I thought they did good. It was a good time.
They are open to suggestions, it sounds like. And they're trying to do a great thing,
Definitely.
keep that track up and going, you know. It's
Yeah.
I don't know how dire it was when they bought it, but they bought it and they're trying to keep it alive and they're willing to learn. So it's really cool to see that they're making the efforts to at least adjust from one day to the next and then have it be just, as Damian said earlier, complete 180. Like
Yeah,
night and
Well,
day.
and give them props too. I mean, when we spoke with Alyssa the other week, just knowing that last year, especially, they had a lot of events canceled because of weather. So, you know, with this being kind of one of their first events where they actually had, you know, full size cars back and trying something a little bit different this year. Thankfully, they were able to actually have the event, and like Damian and David said, they made adjustments between the days to kind of fit with what the track needed, as far as prep and scheduling things and the way they ran the show. So good to see them kind of turn it around on Saturday, and hopefully they will just continue to grow from there and, you know, chalk this up to some learning experiences for next time.
well, and they had already missed an event this year. So not the weekend before that race, but the weekend before that, they were open. Mother Nature was not nice and they had to cancel due to Mother Nature. So obviously none of us on World Sand Drag Knows likes to use the 4-letter word that starts with R. So we call it Mother Nature. But yeah, so that this, you know, they didn't have an opportunity to have a race to make sure track's good, system's good. Hey, we need to get this, we need to get that and whatnot. They did a lot of work on their tractors. Damian, I don't know if you noticed that, but they got a lot of stuff done. They fixed a starting issue on one, some leaks on another one that they had last year. They put some new parts on the plows, and it made a difference. So they're on their way. We'll put it that way. They're on their way. And I don't know if was it Saturday, Damian, that both Devin got the ride in
Anthony Ball's truck.
yes, and then Alyssa rode in is it Nathan?
Yep, Nathan Sneed.
Nathan Sneed.
Yep.
And to see Devin's face when he got back out of that truck was priceless. And then when Alyssa got back, she actually said, we put a video out there. She said that was terrifying. It was great. It was great.
I mean, she picked the one vehicle that spent the majority of its weekend on the back tires to ride in. So
Nathan's a great driver, so she had a great time, I bet.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing, like Damian just said. I mean, it was hooking. What, Friday evening, late Friday evening, and definitely Saturday. That track was hooking. So there was a lot of wheelies down there. It was a lot of fun. It was good. It was good.
And didn't we also have a special little race the end of Saturday? Little something happened between you guys?
yeah, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, I heard Dave gave Damian that smoke. What happened?
I just wanted to make it a good shot, so I didn't even try on the tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so to be honest with you, I kind of was messing with Damian on our World Sand Drag, messenger that we have here, if you guys remember. And I kind of was like, hey, we need to race, and we get there, and I was, as Damian can tell you, I was fighting it. The track, I don't normally run on a track that's made, they were digging it for trucks, so it makes a difference. And I never really run into that. So the track was very, very soft, and I was fighting it. Then I had a primary clutch spring go bad. Before that, I broke a belt, my first belt I've ever broken, actually. And it was due to the clutch. It actually wasn't the belt. And which, by the way, Dayco North America sponsors me, and I was actually R&Ding a new belt for them. And belt was great. It worked great. Clutch went bad. Broke the belt. A guy named Joe Sargent had another spring. We got it fixed. Damian comes up and he's like, we started talking about it. He's like, well, Saturday night. He's like, you want to run? I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. And it just so happened to be that when me and Damian ran, my car was just on point and she was trucking. And Damian put, how much nitrous did you put to yours?
We're
Wait a minute.
spraying
I know.
200.
Yeah. It wasn't enough.
So that's awesome. Congratulations to Dave for taking it to Damian there. Just a quick question for you guys from just about the weekend. Did either of you guys have a better than a 001 reaction time? Just wondering here.
I'm sorry. I'm having trouble hearing you. I don't know. Damian, did you hear what he said? Because I
It's
didn't.
probably because you're hearing a 10-year-old talk over him.
Yeah.
I had a 009 light Friday in the pro light class, and I
You
had
had a 009
on a pro tree.
Mine was a pro tree. You just couldn't see it. It professionally lit up all 3 yellow bulbs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to these race results from Little Sandy Raceway Full Size Madness. I think we got all the classes here. Maybe not. Pro Comp. Your first place winner was Anthony Ball. Second place winner.
No.
Son, what are you talking about?
I won that.
Well, then they had it listed different.
All they had listed was left and right.
You told me it was Pro Comp.
No, yes, but I told you I won.
Yeah, Damian got the win.
I liked it better when Anthony won.
That was the pass I had that 009 light.
Yeah.
Okay. Retake. All right, let's look at these race winners from Little Sandy Raceway Full Size Madness. In your Pro Comp class, we had Damian Bowers getting the win over Anthony Ball. And you said you had your 009 reaction time in that race. Attaboy. Not a 001. Just want to let everybody know that.
410 flat on a 410.
Attaboy. Hell yeah. And then your ATV bracket race, Lindsey Kahn getting the win over Josh Cook Sr. I should say Josh Cook Sr. And then open bracket race on Friday, they had Blake Halpin getting first place over Dustin Stevens. ATV King of Little Sandy, I believe this was ran on Saturday. Or was this Friday? Was it Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. They had the way they did the King of Little Sandy, since they really didn't have enough cars to split the 2 classes up.
I gotcha.
Unfortunately, same with the bikes. So they just ran the winner from the Friday night brackets against the winners of the Saturday night brackets.
Okay, so the winner of the ATV King of Little Sandy race was first place Josh Sammons, and Lindsey Kahn getting on the podium again for second place finish.
I'll tell you, Lindsay, that was the first time she was on that 4-wheeler. They had just put it together.
Ooh.
And she broke the chain. If I remember correctly, Damian, she broke a chain both times in the finals.
I don't know about both times in the finals, but I know at one point in the time trials she ripped the chain out from under it as well.
I think in the finals on Saturday she broke it. Either way, the girl's tough. If you got to run against her, you better be ready. You better be ready.
Sounds
that girl
like
is
it.
tough.
She made it 2 final rounds in the weekend. That's really good. She was almost
Yep.
she almost made it the queen of Little Sandy instead of the king.
Exactly.
Your open bracket race on Saturday, first place winner Keith
Mergenthal.
Thank you. Keith Mergenthal. Your second place winner was Anthony Ball. And then your full size king of Little Sandy, first place, Keith Mergenthal once again. And second place, Blake Halpin. So, well, congratulations to everybody who made podium.
That big old short bed definitely moves. Down there in that softer track, it runs 5.0s, but several times this short bed, leaf springs, it's probably a 4,200 pound truck with a small block Chevy built by Brian Harrison a couple of years ago. Keith Mergenthal.
Oh, okay.
At Brookville, this full-size truck will run 450s.
Attaboy. But it ran 5.0s at Little Sandy?
That's how much softer that track is than Brookville in general, even when it's on its best.
I mean, we
That's
are
just the
talking
difference in surface.
sand, soft sand versus clay.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. Well, either way, yeah. Shout out to Little Sandy for having a great race weekend, and looking forward to. I think their next race is May 18th. They are hosting KOI, so KOI invades Little Sandy on May 18th weekend.
Look for that to have plenty of racers there for.
That's going to have a
especially the
shitload of
quads.
people. Yeah, it's going to lot. Anyway, we're going to move on to Greene's race. How do I say this? Greene's Raceway presented by Fowler Racing. They had their, well, I guess they just had a race, and I think
it was the Miller Racing versus the World Shootout. They had some specialty stuff with that.
Correct. Yeah. So the Miller Racing versus the World Shootout, and then they had a ton of other classes. Let's start with probably the one that named the event after. So we're gonna go with the Miller Racing versus the World No Bar Shootout. First place. Calton Ham won $2,900 in that race. So that's really
Carlton.
cool. Carlton.
Yep,
Okay.
Carlton. Yep.
Okay. Whoever sent this to me did not put the R. I read Calton.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, Carlton. First place winner, Carlton Ham, and won $2,900. Pretty good.
Now, what kind of times were they running this weekend down there?
I wasn't there, so I had no idea.
I can tell you,
I don't know about which person took the
350s, 360s.
There was they reset Carlton. I don't know if it was in that round, but he reset their no bar record at Greene's with a 334.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Yeah, Carlton
guy did?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Carlton
Ham?
came up to me at Roxborough in North Carolina, I don't know, a month or so ago. And me and him are friends. And he's like, Dave, you want to make a run? I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do against you. And light turned green. And I got to see the back of that four-wheeler pretty much the whole way. Like, that thing is stupid fast. Yeah.
I could imagine running a 334 no bar, setting the new no bar track record at Greene's Raceway. Carlton Ham. Well, congratulations, guys. That's really cool.
Just showing the growth of this class around the country.
Yeah. No bar's getting insane. Anyway, we have Bobby Boswell got second place in that class for anybody that wanted to know that. And then they had the Miller Racing versus the World full plastic no bar class, which first place winner was Blake Chavez. He was riding for Mr. Tony Miller. And second place was Colton West. So shout out. Blake Chavez always does a great
Colton's
job.
got a really nice bike as well. It's nice. It is very, very clean.
Well, I know Blake is a very well-known jockey in this sport, so that's really cool. That's it's not a surprise to see his name on the podium by any means.
Yep.
And I'll just kind of start from the top of this list here. And if anybody sees anything that sounds interesting, go ahead and stop me and we'll talk about it. Big boy stock wheelbase dirt bike class. First place, Jeremy Fowkes. If I say these names wrong, I'm sorry. Jeremy Fowkes. Second place, William Goodman. Stock wheelbase dirt bike. First place, Jeremy Fowkes. Stock 250 dirt bike. First place, Jonathan Bowling. Went undefeated in double elimination. It's pretty cool. I like these little notes. Adult bracket race. First place, Mason Newman. Shout out to Mason Newman, and shout out to his dad for selling me my son's engine that's going into his drag bike. Just wanted to say that. So yeah, shout out Mason Newman, first place adult bracket, and then second place is Daniel Fowler for the adult bracket. Kids bracket, shout out to Armstrong Racing, Blazing Armstrong for getting first place in the kids bracket. Second place was Tyler Chance. Extreme quad. What does that even mean? Who knows the rules of that class?
That's just like their outlaw anything goes quad class.
Extreme. I like it. No more outlaw. We're calling
Call it that
extreme
unlimited
now.
or the 4-cylinder unlimited or whatever. PSA.
No more top alcohol. It's now called Extreme Dragster, and it's going to be the greatest thing ever. I'm just kidding. Anyway, Extreme Quad, first place, Isaiah Salter, riding for Jason Gay.
Oh,
then-
Billy,
Yes.
Isaiah is a very good young man. That boy comes in with an open trailer with I don't know how many quads, and when he shows up, you better have your shit together because he come there to win. I'll see him this weekend. I'll see him this weekend, but he's a good guy. Very well liked.
Oh yeah. Well, shout out to. Did I say Isaiah?
Yes, that's correct, Isaiah. Yep.
Okay, cool. And then they had a 5.0 index, which I know Damian just licks his chops anytime he hears a 5.0 index. First place, Carson Holmes. They had a a hog gas class. What is that? What is this? Is this motorcycles?
Yeah.
Okay.
They run a lot of dirt bike stuff, motorcycle, street bikes and stuff at Greene. So they got some stuff for the Harleys and V twins out there.
Well, Carson Holmes also won that class, so I wonder if Carson ran the same machine in both classes.
Yeah, I think so. Shout out to him as well. He's our current A Pro V twin record holder with a 5.0054. He actually ran quicker than that record at this event. Finally broke into the fours with a 496. From my understanding, he didn't back it up within 1%, but we may be seeing some new times for the AV Twin Pro Bike.
Alrighty. Well, shout out to Carson Holmes, world record holder. Who would have known? And then some notes. Caleb already mentioned. Carlton Ham broke the Outlaw No Bar track record with a 334. Cameron Fowler on Pink Panther single cylinder dirt bike, current WSDN D Pro bike record holder with a 376 at 83 miles an hour. What did they do? They lowered it to a 372.
They didn't back it up, but they ran a 372, which they keep track of like a top 15 single cylinder dirt bike list out there. So that puts them at the top of the list there.
Top 15.
Oh wow.
Wow. That's the fact that you got 15 people gunning for that list in that class is crazy. That's awesome. So 372 on a single cylinder dirt bike?
Single cylinder dirt bike.
Oh my God. That's awesome. More notes from this race. Multiple kids set records from National Junior Dirt Drags. Carlson Holmes, current WSDN AV Twin Pro bike record holder. Oh yeah. Set new personal best 496. That's what Caleb just brought up. And then Tyler Chance set a new track record for stock cylinder 250 quad with a 489. So cool. Cool. If we don't have pictures of these, I'm sorry. But hey, that's stuff you didn't know before. That's why this podcast exists. So
Greene's is a really good track. I like going there. Daniel and his dad they're good people.
Well, I plan on going there one day. I don't know when, but I'm gonna do it. Maybe 2025.
Are you gonna do the famous picture shot from the center column blocks of the top end with two Top Fuel bikes coming by you, like a Mr. Jeff Tomlin, rest in peace?
Yes, maybe I'll do that to commemorate Jeff Tomlin.
Just once, right? Before you get hit.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So we're gonna move on to the Zona. Well, hold on. I'm gonna say this wrong, so I gotta find it.
Zona
No Bar Nights.
No Bar Nights.
No Bar Nights.
Look at me, I'm slacking.
Okay. Results there?
Zona No Bar Nights. I do, yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, yeah. So in Zona, where is this at? This is Louisiana?
It is Louisiana, and it is on pea gravel.
Pea gravel. Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. So ATVs can race on pea gravel, Damian. How do you feel about that?
I never said they couldn't race on pea gravel. They just don't do it around here.
I never said you didn't. Why'd you get so defensive?
Yeah, the guy that puts Zona together is Jordan Salles. I can't pronounce his last name, but me and him's been messaging each other for a while, and I'd have been a good one to go see. I believe they had a really good turnout there.
Well, that's exactly who sent me the results, and I'm also with a group chat with some of those guys. So anyway, Zona No Bar Nights race. I really want to get to more of these no bar races. I'm going to list these results, and I got a quick nugget that I kind of stole from Tyler Palmer, but it's okay. So first place in the unlimited class, and I only got first place winners. I don't have second place winners in this list. Winner of the unlimited class is Tyler Palmer. Winner of the 421 class, 421cc, is Bo Thomas. First place in the single cylinder class was Dawson Dickerson. First place in, are you serious? Wow. Okay. First place in the single cylinder class was Dawson Dickerson. First place in the twin limited class. Well, it just says twin. I don't know if it's twin limited. I'm gonna assume it is, but I'm just gonna say twin. First place in the twin class was Chris Reeves. First place in stock mod was Dylan Albert. First place in Doughboy, which is always a favorite, is Tyler Shear. And then first place in stock arm, not too surprised, is Scott Smith, DMS Powersports. Shout out to Scott Smith. So yeah. I would like to make it down there sometime. Caleb, would you take your bike and run in P gravel?
I would.
Yeah.
I don't know about no bar stuff. I'm gonna maybe attempt that couple weeks here. We'll see. We'll see how I like it or not.
What are you doing in a couple of weeks that makes you take the bar off?
NBC Power Motorsports up at kind of Northern California. They're having a fairground race up there, and they've got a single cylinder class that they do not allow bars at. So I'm gonna see if I can try to not loop the 250R.
It's got a timing system and stuff?
I believe so.
Oh, so you're gonna try to
all heads up stuff. So I mean, if I can keep the front end down and not crash the thing, I should have a pretty good chance for a single cylinder.
Well, I cut a 001 light. Damian's cut a 009. Dave, what's your best light been so far?
Last year was
this year, 2024.
This year against Damian, a 115.
115. Okay, so Caleb, actually, Caleb, you raced this year a couple times. What's your best light this year been?
Oh, I don't even know.
Is it better than 001?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to keep that over.
So we're just gonna have to get Kyle Wiedmeyer in here to beat up on Billy next.
No, okay. Hey, my mini bike. I did not want to talk about this now, but my mini bike is coming after all you guys. You better be ready. I'm coming after that Jeep. I'm coming after that side by side. I'm coming after that bike that Caleb's got. I want all the smoke. I want it.
I've only been a measly 034.
034? Okay.
Yeah, that's the best.
Well, I mean, a 009's in second place right now by Damian.
Yeah, this weekend was not my weekend for reaction time. It was embarrassing. Horrible.
And when you're fighting a car, it tends to take away a lot from your driving.
Yeah, we finally got her, though. We finally got her going, so she's good now.
Hey, folks, this episode of Paddle Talk brought to you by Racing in the Dirt coming out of Wisconsin. Scott and Shane O'Rogie and the crew up there, your source for all kinds of good stuff. They are real wheel dealers. They are also scat track dealers. They can do cut tires, everything from ground up chassis builds to all your supplies needed to get that car together in the last couple weeks here for racing season. Check them out on the internet, racinginthedirt.com, on Facebook. You can find them or get a hold of them directly.
Well, we got a pretty cool series that Mr. Dave Applegate here has been putting together. The Speeders, the Southern Powersports. Oh gosh, what Southern Powersports Dirt Drag Racing Series. There we go.
Yeah.
Dave, you guys have your inaugural event coming up here. Tell us a little bit about, the facility you guys are going to first, some of the cool things that you've let us know with a certain other media group being at this event. Take it away.
Well, I appreciate it. It's Southern Powersports Drag Racing Series.
There we go.
I was going to actually do Southern Powersports Dirt Drag Racing Series, but it was too long, and anyways, it is what it is. But yeah, so actually tomorrow the gates open, Thursday, May 2nd, for our first race at Lumber River Sand Drags in Maxton, North Carolina. We've got a lot of stuff going on. I'm doing things a little differently than most. Wasn't sure how it would go over, but it seems to be going over very, very well so far. We've got 4 outlaw classes. I guess the idea was to try and get more people involved. I would love to be able to have all the different 4-wheeler classes, side-by-side classes, dirt bikes classes, all that, everything that goes involved in it. But there's not enough time. And I was trying to build sponsors to, for a guaranteed payout. And by doing that, if I had a whole bunch of classes, it wouldn't leave us much money to put in different areas. So decided to go with it this way. So we've got a outlaw side-by-side. We've got an outlaw 4x4 ATV class. We've got a naturally aspirated ATV class. And then we have outlaw ATV. So the outlaw ATV one I was a little bit concerned with, but it sounds like there's a lot of people interested in it. Basically, it's a lay-down bike, a dirt bike, a motorcycle. It could be anything but a side-by-side or full size. And it's basically run what you brung, all 4 of those classes. We're not worried about weight. These guys put all their time and effort to get them light, to get them fast. Yes, we are going to be watching safety. You know what I mean? We are going to have a tech. But yeah, these guys are excited about it. And then we've got 8 index classes. We're starting at 320 to 340, 360, all the way up to 460. Some of the lower index class, like the 320, we may see some, we may not. But I do believe like our definitely our 380 or 40, 425 in there, I think is going to be pretty packed. And then we've got, of course, an open bracket. And then we've got National Junior Dirt Drags is coming in to do the kids race. So there's a lot going on in 2 days. Pretty excited about it. And like I say, that starts, here tomorrow. And I've got to give a quick shout out to the sponsors, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. I was able to get with these sponsors, and for my first year, we raised $29,000 to hand out, which is nowhere near what some of these guys do, that's been around for a while. But the first year at 29,000, pretty happy.
Dude, that's huge. I'm proud.
That is
that's awesome.
A lot.
I appreciate it. We sure tried, and it wasn't just me, man. I've got a lot of buddies that's been helping me with this. I couldn't do this by myself. There's no way. But I got Mr. RPM Cycle. That's Greg Laughlin. The Bomb Racing, Jeff Ross. M&P Racing, which is Michael Pollard jumped in, and his buddy Michael Vanderveer. Wayland Speed R&D, Murray Powersports, HCL Contracting, Angel Performance, that's Lonnie Angel. Travis Burney with Burney Racing, he pitched in. A small company called Resto Quad. I'll get to them in just a quick second. And then we also have National Junior Dirt Drag. So with Resto Quad, he's pretty cool thing he's got. He's making taillights and headlights and different things for these 4-wheelers. And he does them at his house. It's pretty cool what he can make. So he was going to try and be there, but he's not going to be able to be there this weekend. But he'll be at a couple of the other events. But so yeah, these guys all chipped in. The real cool thing is Bernie Racing and Angel Performance and Retro Quad all went in for a particular class. So Bernie Racing went in for the quickest ET in the side-by-side outlaw class. So he's giving out $100 per race to the fastest guy in eliminations. That's the one stipulation that I kind of put in there, because I want to see this happen during eliminations, not on test and tune. So everyone agreed. Angel Performance is going to do the same in side by side, but it will be for the quickest mile an hour, which is pretty cool. And then Resto Quad they're putting in $50 to the Outlaw ATV for the fastest ET there. Now, I don't have it behind me, but I've got some goodies to hand out to our 4x4 guys. I've got some of those Milwaukee pack out kits. We didn't get any sponsor for them. So I've got some pack out kits that I bought that I'm going to hand out. They're brand new. They're about sitting behind me. And then again, we've got our bracket and kids and our index classes. And this is the first of 6 races. So definitely looking forward to it. Been a lot of people that's helped me out with it. If I started naming them, I'd forget somebody. So I don't want to do that. But Robbie and T Wayne at Lumber River, I talked to them Monday. They were already working on the track, getting ready. This is their opening weekend as well. They typically get 300 to 400 spectators on Friday and almost 600 on Saturday night on a normal opening weekend. So kind of curious to see how this is going to go, especially
really
with
awesome.
having a race that we're giving guaranteed money out to.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. That's going to attract a lot of people, racers and spectators. What's the one thing you really been looking forward to? You just started this series, first race of the series, first year of the series. What's the number one thing you've been looking forward to, or that you may have been the most nervous about?
Okay, so most nervous about is, let's start there. I'm not one that gets super nervous, but I am a little bit nervous about it because it's a big step. I've helped other people put races on, and I had a lot of guys say, "Man, just do your own." So this is my first time doing it on my own. Thing I'm nervous about is when I say I'm on my own, I'm on my own. I don't have any way of paying somebody right now to help me do the registration and do this and do that, the things that need to be done. So I'm a little bit worried about that, although there's a lot of racers that's already reached out to me and said, Dave, if there's anything I can do, you let me know. If I need to sit at the registration booth and help you, we will do it. So I've got a lot of good people behind me. The thing that I'm looking forward to the most is not, this might sound kind of funny, but it's not my series that I'm putting together. I'm looking forward to growing the sport as much as I can. That's my whole goal, is to help the racetracks, help the sponsors, because all the sponsors I just listed, plus others that are out there that, that didn't sponsor this year. And I'm not going to name names, but they are very interested. They just wanted to see how the first year goes. And if it goes well, they'll jump on next year. And I completely understand that, but I want to be able to help the tracks, the people that build the parts for these things, and the sport. That's what I want to see. Of course, I'd love to see the series go real well. I'm going to make mistakes, of course, and I'll have to learn from them. But that's what I want to see. My goal is to grow the sport and make it bigger.
Well, dude, you're attacking it head on. You're doing obviously a great job with it so far, and you haven't even had your first race yet. So you got a lot of people excited, and including myself. I'm not even going to your first race, and it's going to be an exciting year for speeders, and I'm excited to see how far you take this thing. And it all starts this weekend. So
yes, it does, and I'll tell you, when you say going full force, buddy, I went for it. Got a guy, Lugnut Productions, is coming to help cover the event, and that's a friend of Thomas Armstrong from National Junior Dirt Drags. And I have been working with someone for about 2 months, and emailing him and talking. We've been back and forth, and I'm really, really excited about this. We made a deal, and we have Jack from Cycle Drag will be there covering the event this weekend, and I am like,
dude, that's awesome.
I don't even know what to think of it. I know I've had multiple messages and phone calls saying, I seen your post. Is that a joke? Are you serious? Is he going to be there? And I'm like, no, he's coming. He's got his book, his planes is booked. Everything's ready. he messaged me today and said everything's booked. I'll be there. So he's going to be there, and I don't even know what to think about that. That's going to be a huge thing. And again, yes, I am happy for him coming to my series, but I'm telling you guys, I'm more excited about him being there just for the sport of dirt sand drag racing, because guys like that that has that big of a following, all it does is helps everyone that's in this sport, and that's why I did it. And it took a little bit of cash out of my old pocket, but I think it's going to be well worth it. And I cannot wait to meet the guy. I know the racers, I told them all in a post, I'm like, look, man, get them rides cleaned up. You might want to get a haircut too, because he's probably going to be interviewing you. So
he's going to be hands-on like he always is. It's going to be, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. That's a big move right there, and a lot of people may not think it is, but whenever you have somebody who has 1.3 million followers coming to showcase your event, that's a big deal. It is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Jack is one of those guys that he's very passionate about the sport of motorcycle drag racing, and he got a little bit of the bug of the dirt drags with Louisiana last year, and I think that content did really well for his channel too. I think a lot of his viewers are keeping an eye on that, and I think that them seeing another avenue of this, a different facility, some different types of machines too. I think it's going to be really cool for the sport. Great exposure. I think that he's going to have a blast there. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I have plans definitely of talking to Jack, getting him off to the side, and try and do a little short interview with Jack, because I don't think many people do an interview with Jack. So how cool would that be if we can get him to let us do an interview with him?
So tune in next week, and you can possibly hear us talk an interview with Jack from Cycle Track. It'd be amazing. It'd be awesome.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, Dave, I'm really excited for this race. I'm excited for your live updates if you're not busy enough running stuff to go live. And if anything, I'm excited for you, and it's going to be awesome, man. It really is.
I appreciate it. I'm definitely trying my best to make this happen. It's not been easy, and anybody that does these events knows that. And especially trying to do this right now myself, and it's been a chore, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it.
Absolutely, it'll be worth it. And we are, like I said, we're excited to see the updates that come from the racing that goes on, and it's going to be action-packed weekend. You got a ton of classes for everybody. So if you're out on the East Coast and you're close to the Lumber River in North Carolina, get out there and then participate in this race, because it's going to be huge. The whole series.
Absolutely.
Yes. And also before we drop that real quick, I do have 4 other racetracks that I have talked to, actually 5. So next year there's going to be way more than 6. Way more than 6.
I might know a couple of those places already.
Yeah, I think you do. I've told you a few of them, so I can't really say nothing right now, but just be prepared, because we are going to be going all out next year for sure.
That's right. Let's do it.
Do it.
All right, we're going to move on to the Avenal Sand Drags, Avenal, California, historical facility. They are racing this weekend as well. 3-day racing, and Caleb will be on site. Caleb, you're going, right?
Yes, sir.
Is your dad?
Going to be a bit of a different weekend. Not going to be racing myself, just due to circumstances with all that stuff. I'm really bummed that I'm not going to be racing, because they put a whole bunch of sand on the track, and I really think it's going to help the ATV crowd out there. I think it's going to help everybody out. Avenal, the dirt out there, it can get a little chunky, so they've been slowly mixing in loads of sand throughout the years, and it definitely, every time that they do it, it picks up. They're trying to get that consistency kind of really well blended. But it's going to be a cool weekend. It's a little bit later than they typically do it. They usually do this the end of April, so they're moving into the beginning of May. But I think it's gonna be a good turnout. Seeing a lot of people show some interest and stuff with it, so going to be an exciting weekend. Yeah, they usually do it either the 3rd or 4th weekend of April, so it's not that much removed, but it's just kind of, they normally would call this their spring nationals, but with it being in May, they're like, well, it's just the season opener.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Now,
And I
where
see
are they located at, Caleb?
This is in Avenal, California. It's about nearest town that people might know is Bakersfield, about an
Oh.
hour north of there.
Oh man, if a drag racer doesn't know where or have heard of Bakersfield, there's a problem.
Yes, sir.
So they changed up their schedule a little bit here. They start racing at 9 in the morning on Friday. That is
Doesn't Avenal have light issues with having enough light on the track, or have they fixed?
Oh no, Avenal does not have issues with that. So this is a few races ago, but Ross Racing, I believe, was kind of the main component of getting, they've got some, probably the nicest lighting system of any sand drag track now. They've got these gigantic, huge, like LED lights, solar, charged ones. They can race well into the night now. You are correct, Damian. There was a time where they did not have lights, and that was one of their big struggles, is they had to get their racing done before dark. And they had a few races where, especially Friday night, Saturday night, they'd have gamblers that they couldn't quite finish eliminations on, but not a problem anymore.
Okay. Definitely seems to be one of the wilder tracks because you get a little more of the Northern California crowd with their full-size trucks and whatnot that run there, including Ross with his trucks.
Oh yeah. And they're actually going to, just like they typically do, Friday night, they're going to have their quick 8 truck, so that it's not a heads up class. They do it as a dial-in, but full body trucks going out there, and the quickest ones are going to make the field.
Is that like basically like trying to do like the, you all right?
Yep.
That sounded intense. Is that kind of like their pro truck class that they?
Essentially, it's a bit of an equivalent. They don't have a minimum ET to qualify. And
okay.
it's open dial-in, so nothing to like the 10th or anything.
Is it pro light?
It is pro light.
Okay.
They are pretty strict about this. So this is not Jeeps.
Oh.
This is actual full body trucks. So you're gonna see some real steel stuff out there for sure.
So no Larry Minor Jeeps.
No Larry Minor Jeeps allowed in the class. Probably gonna see Daniel Bailey running his late father's old 41 Chevy pickup out there.
Oh,
We're
this
gonna
is
see.
this is Aaron Ross written all over it, probably.
Adam Ross.
Excuse me. Yeah,
Adam Ross and the 57 Apache. He will probably be running that truck. Guillermo Martin Ocampo, he's got a big pro charged truck that he's been kind of, I know, saw him with testing tunes. I know Christy Amos, she likes to run her flatbed Chevy out there. Chris Pintor, when he's got his blown motor in his big pickup square body, he's probably gonna be running it. So it's gonna have a lot of quick trucks that are gonna be running.
I like to see that. I like to see more. I think people like watching full body vehicles more than the usual stuff that we're used to. So that'd be cool to see them out there more often. So yeah, get out there and run that quick 8 pro, or I almost said pro truck, full body truck.
So they're Caleb, I'm sorry, they're running full size and 4-wheelers and things as well there that
Yes,
weekend.
sir. Yep. So we do still have ATV racing for the adults classes on the West Coast.
There you go.
They are still gonna have it. I don't know what the turnout's gonna be necessarily for it. But definitely gonna at least be able to cover it now. Being that I'm not gonna be running it myself, I know that's one thing that always kind of suffers with our coverage whenever I'm racing in the ATV classes. So hopefully we'll see a decent turnout on the bike crowd, and we'll get some live feeds and some photos and stuff for those guys.
Yeah, Caleb will be there to hit the good old song and dance.
Good deal.
He does it well. And then, of course, the beloved heads up classes. It looks like just top alcohol, top eliminator, and pro mod.
Yep. Yeah, they typically don't run a fuel.
Okay.
More than likely, they won't have alcohol or pro mod cars. I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say unlikely. I know that Jim Hammond sometimes goes out there. Gary Mink has been out there. That's actually where he set our WSDN world record.
Is
So,
Nick not going?
I don't believe Nick is making this one. I think he's waiting on some parts and stuff. Obviously, he ran really quick times at Elsinore. Hurt it, ran it with hurt parts at Dome, and he said he's parking it to get a good rear end back in their car.
Cool.
Very understandable on that route.
And they still call the ATV classes motorcycle classes. There's
You
not
know,
a
that's
single
a West,
motorcycle.
That's a West Coast thing. It's the same thing of like, oh, why do you call them bikes? It's the the blanket term that the West Coast decided to put in it, and it's been in there since ASDA days with
Yeah,
Les Gray.
well,
So
you
it's
know what?
it's stuck.
I guess so, because everybody just rides four-wheeled motorcycles in the West Coast, I guess.
That's true. We are. They're four-wheel motorcycles.
Yeah. Well,
They
so
got.
yeah,
Is it? Does it have a motor? And is it a cycle? Yes.
I guess you're right.
There was a few drag quads in Kentucky that were just basically they put a quad chassis around a motorcycle chassis.
Yeah. You just add an axle to a motorcycle and boom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, Avenal Sand Drags, and we will be there to bring you coverage. Shout out to our sponsors. Who's our plug your sponsors taking you out there?
Yeah,
Fellas?
so we got to thank the Gilmores, Tim and Aurelia Gilmore with My Refrigeration Man Incorporated, as well as Mark Puños with Fast Track Construction. So got a big shout out to those guys for helping me get out there this weekend once again, and looking forward to a good race weekend.
Sweet. Yeah. All right, and then the last thing we got here for race previews is New England Sand Drags are actually racing this weekend, and we will be talking to Nick and Jeff from New England next week in next week's episodes to go over their race recap and stuff like that. The classes they are running, they got Pee-wees and juniors. They have trail ATV class. They have the top ATV class. They have a street car class and it's just called top car class, I suppose. I don't know the actual term, but all their classes are bracket racing. Yeah, they're located in Maine, and yeah, it looks like they're gearing up for a good old race weekend, which is great. It's that time of year, fellas. Race season. Damian.
I got one more race that's going on this weekend that we have another person that'll be at.
Who?
The Texas State Gauntlet. Jeremy Swanner will be getting us some pictures and videos from that race down in Texas weekend.
What race is that?
It's a Texas Mud Drags. I've got the flyer pulled up right here. It is in Brazoria, Texas.
Oh.
They're running 200 foot, but we mentioned how everyone likes watching the full size and heads up racing. It's almost completely heads up racing, cars from as far east as West Virginia going to Texas to race heads up with full size trucks, Jeeps, you name it, in various different classes. And almost all the classes require the vehicle to be full body, door slammer, front end. Some classes cut tires, some classes a lot of paddles, power adders, you name it.
The State Gauntlet?
Yes, they're going to be running in Texas, then going to Missouri, Mississippi, and then up to Kentucky.
Well, cool. Sweet. Well, that looks like to be really exciting. They said they got $1,000 added to the door slammer class.
And that's a 2,700 pound minimum weight. It's got to be full body, standard driver's position, and have doors.
The four-wheel mod, $1,000 added as well.
Yep. As well as a big block class where 3,100 pound minimum weight, naturally aspirated on cut tires with stock engine location.
All right.
And a grand being added to that one as well. Throw some good money.
Definitely. And a guy from West Virginia took home one of the class championships last year with their 3-state race. They did Kentucky, then they went to Mississippi, and then out to Texas. This year they've added Missouri. And some of these races are looking to have some bracket classes because of the Mississippi crowd. So if you have a racer and you're near these areas, you might go check out and try and run with the bracket classes because I believe those classes are open to any car.
Yeah, and I believe that beyond their kind of those 3 added money classes, they're kind of running the local rules for each of these tracks. So there's additional heads up classes as well. So yeah, even if you're a sand drag person, you want to give some 200-foot stuff a try. See if one of these classes kind of fits your vehicle.
And if your car is close enough to one of these classes, obviously it's a little late to get a set of tires. Something we haven't really mentioned on. If you're close enough to run one of the classes that require cuts or something, our sponsor Racing in the Dirt would probably be able to hook you up for that.
Absolutely.
Damian, have you ever tried the mud racing?
I've done some. This is more of what they consider fast track, so it's more similar to what we race at Brookville or what the track at Thunder Valley is going to be like. It's just damp clay, tilled a little deeper. So it's real similar to what we do, just a shorter track distance.
Okay.
Your problem, from my understanding, Damian, is that you're too light for a lot of these. Classes that they run.
There's 2 classes I really fall into. I fall into their open door slammer, where if I could get the Jeep down that low, I could weigh 2,500 pounds, but I can't pull that much weight off the Jeep. So 2,700 pounds, but I'm allowed to run 2 kits. So don't know if I'm going to do that yet or not. And then the other class is their small block power adder class, which is door slammer, 3,100 pounds, small block, any power adder.
So you're either getting outgunned in a class with people that have big motors on nitrous, blower motors, all that sort of stuff, or you're going and you're trying to put way too much weight on there.
And I'm still getting out cubic inch by 100 or more. But this series is something I watched a little bit of last year. It looks to be a really fun series. There's, like I said, a lot of the guys from Mississippi, where right now the big class that's taking off is their 35s gone wild, which anything goes. Door slammer, 3,600 pound on a 35-inch DOT cut tire. Almost like our pure street gas. They limited it by tire size, and you got guys standing on the bumper down there in that class. And now they're going to a race in Texas where they can pull all that weight off, put the 44s under it if they can fit them, and actually hook the power up.
I love it. I wish I was there. I wish I was a lot of places this weekend. If I could be 4 places at once, this would be the weekend to do it.
Thankfully, we've got Jeremy Swanner. He's going to be down there getting us some pictures and videos of this weekend, so we'll be able to get some information of that. It looks like it's going to be a fun series. I'm going to try and make their finale in Kentucky in September, so we'll see how things go.
Absolutely. Well, cool. All righty. Well, before we end the show, I want to do another giveaway opportunity here. What should we do for a giveaway? What should we do here? What do you guys think we should do for a giveaway?
I think we should get the quickest reaction time with a time slip from this year. Gonna get a WSDN t-shirt.
How about this? From the past month.
Past month?
From the month of April. From the month of April.
Yep.
Okay.
Whoever had the best reaction time from the month of not counting me, not counting anyone from WSDN, but whoever had the best reaction time from the month of April, you have until let's do what's the date next Monday?
1 second. The 6th, yes.
The 6th? Yep. Okay. So you got until May 6th at noon No, let's do.
How about this? You edit in the date when you're about to upload it, because this may take till May 6th to
Okay,
upload.
you haven't. No, because this will be up by at the very latest Friday morning. So by the time you're watching this, you'll already be at all the races we talked about.
And it should be done quickest reaction time in eliminations.
Yes, best reaction time in eliminations, or grudge race, and send it to World Sand Drag News. You can send it to our Facebook, Instagram. You could comment it in the YouTube. We just need pictures of it as well. Don't just be like, I've got a perfect reaction time, and don't even show it to us.
Send us proof.
Send us proof. Yes. Whoever sends in the best reaction time. We'll do, actually, you know what? We'll do the 2 best reaction times. We'll get a WSDN t-shirt. We've had 2 winners already this year giveaways. We've had Dave Weaver and Guy Wagner. So there you go. And yeah, you have until Monday, May 6th at 11:59 p.m. to send it in.
Are we including stuff from this weekend, Billy?
Said month of April.
Was it April?
No,
Was it
I'm
April?
saying I'm asking if we're extending it through this weekend since we got a couple races going on.
You know what? Fine. Yeah. Okay. We'll do the month of April and the first weekend of May. Is that fair?
Woo! There we go.
Okay. Month of April, first weekend of May. Whoever has the best reaction time, send in your time slips to World Sand Drag News, any of our social media outlets. Top 2 reaction times, whoever they are, they get free t-shirts from World Sand Drag News. On Damian. And Damian's actually paying for it. What happens when you lose the Dave, Damian? You gotta pay for the shirts. Oh no, I'm just
Good
kidding.
time.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Okay, guys. This is the end of Paddle Talk. We appreciate you guys coming on. On behalf of myself, Dave Applegate, Damian Bowers, and Caleb Mings, we will see you guys next week. If you're going racing this weekend, always be safe.
Hey, folks, this episode of Paddle Talk brought to you by Racing in the Dirt coming out of Wisconsin. Scott and Shane O'Rogie and the crew up there, your source for all kinds of good stuff. They are real wheel dealers. They are also scat track dealers. They can do cut tires, everything from ground up chassis builds to all your supplies needed to get that car together in the last couple weeks here for racing season. Check them out on the internet, racinginthedirt.com, on Facebook. You can find them or get a hold of them directly.